people of the internet. It's Thirsty Thursday. I'm Mike.
I'm Brendon.
This is Thirsty Thursday on gettingwork.com. People of the internet, welcome. It's been a hell of a week. Brendon, guess what?
What? Oh,
that's real glass.
Real glass.
Cry me a river.
Oh, God.
We'll get to that.
Took no time.
So,
just like there. First thing of the night.
It's okay, all I've been seeing news about is the controversy from All In. But we'll get there. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about it.
First off, how are you doing? Are you pulling a drink out of a planet?
I have a globe.
You have a globe?
I have a globe that is a little mini bar, and I can keep a bottle in there. And
you have a globe? Have a glug globe? Glug globe?
Yeah. A glug globe, maybe.
Glug globe.
I got the whole world in my hand. Actually.
R.I.P.
Aw, right.
R.I.P.
Anyway. Yeah.
That was really sad.
It's been a rough week. We'll get to that too, I guess.
I mean, well, we might as well jump into it. But first and foremost, thank you all for listening to this podcast, subscribing wherever you get your podcasts, watching this on YouTube. Go to gettingwork.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or youtube.com/@gettingworked. We're in our second episode. We're going to talk about a lot of wrestling. So buckle in, Buttercup. Is it buckle in, Buttercup? Buckle up, Buttercup. See, I got it after a try or two.
Buttercup's got a buckle.
Buckle up, Buttercup. We're strapping in for most of all of All In, and some of the brawl in. I got some fucking opinions about that, but we'll get there. So what are you drinking out of your glug globe?
Something actually that I let you try the other day. You actually helped me open the bottle.
Ooh, that's amazing.
Silencio.
El what?
El Silencio.
Sounds like a luchador who got kicked out of Bullet Club. I love that.
Him.
He is now El Silencio. Isn't that what Andrade was? No, he was La Sombra.
La Sombra. The ghost.
Yes. Is it the ghost?
Yeah.
For some reason, I figured sleep. My brain thought it had something to do with sleep.
The hat? No, it's a sombrero.
That's sombrero.
La Sombrero.
Yeah. So I've got
be the ghost, because if I'm wrong, I'm gonna feel really stupid right now.
We'll go with the ghost for now. I have, because last week you had a Mountain Dew.
I had a Mountain Dew. There's usually one nearby.
Okay,
you know what?
What?
Have you been there?
I've been here multiple times. I go to Bucees every time.
I have just started hearing about it recently from some friends in our soccer supporter group and whatnot. As you know, like that's my other communication in this world, in Discord. And people talk about, there's always these fights about Wawa and Sheetz, but then there's this whole Buc-ee's thing as well.
Sheetz is trash. Sheetz is garbage. Sheetz is hot garbage. Don't come at me with your fucking Sheetz. No.
Really?
Oh, it's trash.
Why is it?
It's trash. What's special? Where does Speedway end and Sheetz begin? I'll give Wawa. They got the thing with the weird food. From what I understand, their food's a little bit different. They kind of have that on it. Like, I got the food at Sheetz, and it really felt more like I was getting just the same food from like a Speedway gas station.
Did it give you the Sheetz?
Just wrapped up to me and handed to me. I do think I got the Sheetz. No, but Sheetz is trash.
Really?
Oh God, Buc-ee's is God. Sheetz is trash.
So tell me about Buc-ee's real quick. If I'm an alien that has just landed on Earth,
okay,
and I would like to know about Buc-ee's, what is it?
So you're an alien just landed on Earth. Does your
planet,
oh God, okay, does your planet have Walmart?
Well, my planet has a version of Walmart.
Okay,
yes.
so your planet has Walmart.
Yep.
Take a Walmart.
Okay.
And then for every redneck in the Walmart, there's a gas pump outside for them. Like
we have green necks. We have green necks on our planet.
Oh, they're not rednecks, they're green necks? Okay,
no, yeah, green necks.
Imagine if everybody in the Walmart had their own gas pump outside. They're all in a row. All 172 of them.
Wait, it's in a row? Wait.
Yeah, they just have gas pumps. Fucking from one end of this fucking block to the other. Because when they build them, they don't just go, okay, here's Target and here's Kroger. Let's put a Buc-ee's there. No, they plan these things like IKEA's. They build them like off of highway ramps, Like the two I've been, well, the one I've been to, and the other one that they're building that I'm gonna go to, both were built on their own like roadways. Their own roadways.
Really?
Like, they built their own off ramps. It's its own part of town. It has its own street on both versions of this Buc-ee's. So like they plot out land. They have all this shit figured out. Like these things are fucking huge. You get in there.
This place is a lot bigger than I imagined already in my mind, apparently. Because I've only seen videos that people have shot from the inside.
Yeah.
Like there's a guy that screams about brisket and slams something into a cutting board.
Brisket
like,
on the board. Brisket on the
knowledge
board. That's their way of letting you know there's fresh brisket for sale. Because they have
How
a
often
whole
is there
barbecue
fresh
restaurant. All day. All day. Like I think when I was there for a 2-hour trip, I was there for 2 hours.
Did you have the brisket? I mean, you got to get the brisket. Did you have it, or did you?
Oh,
have
we'll
something
get there. We'll get there. But first,
great.
before I get to the, I need a drink before I get.
My
to
bad. What
this
are
Buc-ee's
you drinking
story.
out of your Buc-ee's cup?
Well, there was a whole fucking joke because last week you had a Mountain Dew, so my joke was going to be a Buc-ee's cup full of ice water. But we got off on Buc-ee's, so we're not even going to do that joke right now because I'm drinking whiskey.
Your punchlines hit so well.
Oh, my punchline's dead already.
Tub. I have
Old
not
tub.
seen that in a minute.
Old
Didn't they
tub.
used to have a smaller bottle?
It used to be on premise only. This Old Tub whiskey. This is from.
Did we have it where we
James
used
B.
to
Beam
work?
Distilling Company. Eventually, we did. But remember, this is a thing you could only buy at the distillery for a while. In those little flask bottles.
Yes, exactly. That's what I remember it as, was the flask bottle.
So this is a
Do you
100 proof bottle and bond whiskey. Yeah.
Fantastic. A Bernie lover's love right there, probably. You have a cube there that I'm looking at. How do you have a mold? Do you have a?
I have like a little silicone
like
tray.
we used to?
No, I'm not cutting ice. I'm not making shit. I'm not going that far. I've got just a little silicone mold that my mother-in-law got me that I put in the fridge. I fill it with ice water and it makes the nice little cube. It's not clarified. Like it's still got the white part in there. Yeah. But I also have ones that are like diamonds, like full diamonds, ice cubes. Those are okay. Those are really good for the like a help me. The fun one. The fun whiskey glass, the
Glencairn?
Glencairn. Yes. Like for a Glencairn, they're good for that.
You just
can
keep
put a
doing
diamond
this.
in a Glencairn.
For those of you watching right now, if you notice, Mike just kept doing this, and all I could think was turn your head to the left and cough, and it was one of the most terrifying images I've ever had.
Yeah, this is what I do.
What how does that mean, Glencairn?
Oh no, that's I was thinking about what you were saying. This is what I do to myself. So the whiskey, anyway.
I don't want to be on the show anymore. It didn't take long. I'm just kidding.
This is an unfiltered 100 proof bottle and bond whiskey. So
fantastic. I saw a ice mold that I wanted, and it's a single round one of the Death Star. And I'm determined that someday I will have that just single round Death Star mold. Mm-hmm. So every now and then, if I need a cube.
Cheers.
How is it? Cheers.
Delicious. Mm. And here's the thing, too. I am a proponent of cheap bottles of whiskey. Love me some Woodford. Love me some Jefferson's. I'll drink Pappy. I've had Pappy plenty of times. Delicious shit. But I'm a big fan of a bottle that you can get for under $25. I think this bitch is like $22.50. And honestly, for the price, fucking incredible stuff. So we went through that. We did the whiskey to come back around and talk about Buc-ee's. So
exactly,
you're an alien. Back to the story. You're an alien. I'm explaining Buc-ee's to you. It's a
Yes,
Walmart full of green necks.
Green necks.
But it's really nice. Imagine everything's a lot nicer than a Walmart.
So it's Target.
Yeah, but the color scheme is not very distinct. Like how a Target has a bunch of red, a Walmart has a bunch of blue. Gotcha. Honestly, the inside of a Buc-ee's is a lot of beige and earth tones, but you don't pay attention to that because there's so much crazy shit going on everywhere. You walk in and there's a giant two-side of the store clothing section. Now, when I say clothing, I mean not like just Buc-ee's t-shirts or just like a Buc-ee's hoodie. There's that stuff.
It's a lot of flannel, isn't
Buc-ee's
it?
t-shirts, Buc-ee's hoodies, Buc-ee's flannels, blankets, koozies, coolers, backpacks. They seasonally change things out. So like I went in July And there's 4th of July themed shirts. You go in Halloween, there's going to be Halloween themed
But it's
stuff.
still all Buc-ee's.
But it's all Buc-ee's. It's all with this. It's a beaver. It's all with this, some form of this beaver on it. They'll do, like, at Christmas time, they'll do giant inflatables for your front yard that are this gigantic beaver with a Santa Claus hat on. So there's merch as far as the eye can see. And then you go a little bit past that, and, well, there's more merch. But there's also the ability to buy non-Buc-ee's branded merch. Like, half of it is dedicated to that Vineyard Vines brand. You know what I'm talking about? With, like,
Vineyard Vines.
Like, a lot of, like, affluent Midwestern women wear this Vineyard Vines. It's got, like, the cartoon whale as the logo. Look up Vineyard Vines. Look up Vineyard Vines so that way you can see what that logo looks like. But it's, like, Vineyard Vines and, like Yellowstone merchandise, but, like, really nice stuff. Like, you can buy a barbecue grill. And I don't mean, like, a cheap click together one. Like, you can buy a $1,500 like smoker on, like, the level of a Traeger.
The first thing that came up for me is a $70 string bikini.
Look for, like, a sweatshirt, like a Vineyard Vines sweatshirt. That'll kind of give you the idea of what the merch looks like.
Oh, it's Fudgy the Whale.
Pardon?
You know what Fudgy the Whale is? The Carvel ice cream cake?
Dude,
Fudgy the Whale?
I thought this was about to get real dirty. I thought Fudgy the Whale...
Grow up.
You say to me Fudgy the Whale.
Grow up.
Okay.
This isn't the Urban Day. This isn't Cards Against Humanity. I didn't give anyone a Fudgy the Whale.
When? Who's this whale?
I don't know. I'm looking at this right here. That's what I see. Vineyard Vines. It's their football shirt.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I pulled up.
That's a bunch... Like there's, like, that kind of merch on the other side. It's like Buc-ee's merch or that kind of merch. But there's so many things. Like, you can get boots and cowboy hats and everything. So there's all the merchandise. And then in the middle of it, there's a series of stands. But each of these stands,
stands, mic stands,
like
plant stands,
counter stands. Like, imagine it almost looks like when you go to the symphony, how there's, like, a bunch of dudes behind the big drums in the
timpanis.
The timpanis. There's dudes behind the timpani drums. It's like they're encircled with that, but it's all counters of space. So they just have these big circular counters around them. One is like a fudge stand. Like, they're making fresh fudge, like 20 different varieties. And they're making, like, banana pudding, key lime pie pudding, like cakes
I like
and
key lime
cookies
pie.
and all this kind of shit. So they've got, like, that stand. And then behind that, they've got a barbecue stand, which is a bunch of dudes dressed like Foghorn Leghorn who are all standing there and just chopping brisket, chopping sandwiches. They serve brisket they serve brisket all day. In the morning, you can get it in, like, brisket tacos. You can get sausage on a stick. You can get, like, smoked turkey sandwiches. It's a barbecue. It's legitimate Texas barbecue in this counter.
That doesn't sound bad at all.
I get a triple meat sandwich when I go there. This bitch has, like, smoked turkey, brisket or pork, depends on which day you go. Some days they use brisket, some days they use pork. And
I bet that smoked turkey's good.
And smoked sausage. All on a sandwich. You can get just a sandwich of one of those things, but I figure usually this is, like, halfway through a 5-hour drive. So that's usually, like, my road meal for the day is that sandwich.
Nice.
So you can get all that kind of stuff. And then you look to one side and there's a jerky counter.
Oh, buddy.
Imagine the longest deli counter you've ever seen.
And it's all jerky, like different animal.
Jerkies.
Wow.
And then to the left of that, there's an entire wall where you can just buy pre-bagged. So if you don't want it, you can get the deli, you can do that. You can order by the pound, you can order small amounts, pop. Or you can just buy bags of all of the different flavors. Just grab it off the shelf like you're just like a grab and go. And they're legitimate packaged. It's like a Jack Link's bag. It's not some, like, piddly bullshit. It's like a legitimate product. So that's one part. If you keep going a little bit further, you're going to get into the beverage station where I believe there's like 60 or 70 fountain soda taps.
Good
all
Lord.
Different kinds of shit. And they make a lot of their own shit. They have like Bucky's root beer, Bucky's red cream soda, Bucky's Mountain Dew alternative, Bucky's cola, Bucky's diet cola, all this shit.
I am actually looking at a couple things here for Bucky's through their site. I do see one of their first things they advertise: cleanest restrooms in America.
That's the
Did you get to go into their restroom?
I will save my shit. I will hold. I will clench. I'll do what I call the rocket pop.
The what?
The rocket pop. It's where you got to poop really bad, and you clench your butt, and you just jump in your seat, and it kind of like
oh my,
pushes everything kind of like back up.
There are people who tuned in because they knew we were going to talk about All In, and they just learned about the rocket pop.
So like I will rocket pop from Lexington to Richmond, Kentucky, just because I know I'm going to take a dump at a Bucky's, dude. Floor to ceiling stalls. First off, when you go into the bathroom, there's about, no bullshit, 30 stalls, 40 stalls. Full floor to ceiling. When you go into each individual stall, it has its own hand cleaning station, its own hand sanitizing station, and then they have a toilet wiping station where you can get these little wipes to like legit clean the seat off with sanitizer before you sit down.
Each toilet has its own hand wash type thing? Or?
Each one of these stalls has its own. And then you go out of that and there's still like 20, 30 urinals and like 20 sinks to wash your hands in, and there's dudes just hanging out in there. I don't mean like
sounds like a typical.
No. No, they work there. They work there.
Oh, well, that's
they work
good.
there, and they're cleaning.
That's what the last guy tricked me with. He told me he worked there, and that guy did not work at that shell.
They're cleaning. Well, wait, which shell?
The one down in Covington.
Ooh.
He was tender though.
Ooh, was his name Bucky too?
I don't know. Well, here's my thing though. My problem is this. I feel like they can't advertise the cleanest restrooms in America if there is ever a 5-minute period that Mike has been holding a rocket pop on the way to Bucky's. That 5 minutes after you go into their bathrooms, those are no longer the cleanest restrooms in America.
Let's think about
No,
Mike,
I don't want to think about it anymore.
Think about Mike to bathroom ratio. There's only one me and like 30 other stalls. Let's just say 35 other stalls. Let's have fun with it. So if you think about it, what I'm doing in that one stall is a very small percentage of the overall filth content of that entire bathroom. That would still qualify, I believe, per square inch. Yeah, per square inch probably is the cleanest bathroom.
Gotcha.
Right.
Fantastic. Do you know that Bucky's has 2 world records? And do you know what they are?
I'm gonna guess highest sales in one day for a gas station?
No, but I feel like I don't know if that is one. One of their stores is the world's largest convenience store. Sevierville, Tennessee, largest convenience store in the world at 74,707 square feet.
That bitch opened the day after my last trip down to Pigeon Forge, Sevierville. The day after I left town. We were hoping, like, open a day early, you mother buggers.
Well, they heard you had been holding it in, waiting for them to open. They were like, day one, this guy is not going to rocket pop our bathroom on day one. We're not letting it happen. I am sorry.
I now have a goal to get a rocket pop t-shirt going. That's the first piece of merch for this podcast is the rocket pop t-shirt.
Rocket pop. Their other world record is the world's longest car wash with a 255 foot conveyor.
Yeah, I could totally see that happening.
Yeah, I'm looking at an overhead picture here, and yeah, it is pretty unbelievable inside this place. But yeah, so
the big thing though is some of the signature items. Like you've got that brisket, you've got that beef jerky, but the star, the real gem of a Bucky's is the beaver nugget.
Well, you know what I'm gonna ask. The hell is a beaver nugget?
Think about like a corn pop. Like corn pop cereal.
Okay.
Bigger pieces. Texture-wise, maybe like a hair harder. Like not harder. No, it's what?
There's no meat?
No, it's like a sweet snack. It's like a sweet crunchy snack. It's like almost like a popcorn alternative.
I mean, I didn't think it was gonna be like beaver tail or anything, but I just figured it was some like meat if you're gonna call it.
No, it's just a beaver nugget. I think that's just their clever cute, whimsical name for it. Yeah.
Beaver nugget is not cute to me.
They're delicious.
Are they really?
Those motherfuckers, man.
How do they come? Are they in a bag? Do you get them like singles?
If you get like a few of the flavors, like there's a cinnamon sugar one, and there's like, I think there is like savory also. There's like nacho cheese and sour cream and onion. I think those ones come in like almost like your normal when you think of a single serving chip bag. But I like to get the classic ones that come in like the big, like it looks like a bag you got at a fair. Like the clear plastic cellophane bag that's kind of just folded at the top.
Like the way you get the big popcorns at the fair when they come in that big
but not twist tied. But not twist tied. They kind of it's sealed on the top like it's legitimate. Like like it's factory sealed.
A carny did not bag this item.
No, this is like a factory sealed legitimate product.
Fantastic.
These things are fucking legitimate. I swear to God, dude, I spend fucking $150 every time I go to a goddamn Buc-ee's.
Well, sounds like a place that I need to check out. I will have to make my way down there because the closest one to us, Richmond.
Ooh, Thirsty Thursday, Buc-ee's road trip.
That would be fun.
Yeah,
we'll have to do that
in our Rocket Pop shirts.
In our Rocket Pop shirts.
In our Rocket Pop t-shirts. So we talked about Buc-ee's. My name is Bucky, and I came to fucky. So let's.
We were doing so good. I was like, you know what? We're going to put this episode out. He's not going to have to cut a thing. This is going to be simple. And yeah.
No, I love it. But we also had another thing this past weekend that was a little fucky. It was All In. It was All In weekend.
All In
weekend?
Sunday.
Can they call their event a weekend even though it's one day? Like
I'm sure there were events around it all weekend long.
That's not theirs, though.
They had like Rev Pro went on. I mean, it was their mini European WrestleMania. All the other independent shows happen. Jericho shows up at Rev Pro, shit like that. I mean, they kind of had their own little mini European WrestleMania.
Yeah. So, All In, it was the 27th of August. That bitch was at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, I think the pre-show started at noon.
Yes.
So before we get into the match, before we get into the lineup, before we get into the card, what were your initial thoughts going into what they claimed was the biggest wrestling show of all time?
I was worried for a bit. I mean, there's still things that bother me about it, but I really feel like that's something that should have had. I bet you'll see next year that there will be a build-up that is far more than 2 weeks. I mean, you will have a fight card for more than a month out from that event. It's pretty amazing that you can sell that many tickets without having a fight card 2 weeks before the show.
I think that speaks to what the event is more than what the company is or the roster. Like people just wanted to go to a big wrestling show.
Well, yeah, absolutely. They went to the first All In, the first AEW in Europe. But when it's the second, the third, the fourth, and they've been there before, can you still continue to sell that many seats when you haven't built up a card? I'm
waiting for WWE to announce a WrestleMania or SummerSlam from Wembley.
You already heard.
To knock it out of the sky.
Well, you already heard Cena make that announcement, right? That he wants to bring when they were at the last Clash in the Castle.
But
he wants to bring WrestleMania to Europe.
Though. We need a real announcement.
Well, they're going to now, guaranteed.
Yeah.
How do they not?
Just to compete with Tony.
It's there or Australia, because Australia would get a huge hit too as well. I guarantee you could. I mean, it's a very odd ticket, but they would sell out a stadium in Australia as well.
Not trying to sound like an asshole. Would it be? How hard would that be to sell at a stadium in Australia? What's the biggest stadium in Australia?
What else do they have to do? Oh my gosh, for their rugby, and they've got multiple stadiums for rugby. I bet for the national, I bet they have a stadium that holds. Give me the capacity of the largest stadium down there, and I guarantee it's more than 80,000.
Melbourne Cricket Ground in Australia is
that's going to be over 100.
Australia, it's 100,000 people.
Yeah, bam.
It's the world's largest cricket stadium.
There you go. There's your venue. And Melbourne, you're talking about, that's not where things kill people. So yeah, perfect. Good part of Australia.
There you go.
Not a lot of black mambas and gators right in downtown Melbourne.
Drop bears.
Melbourne.
The drop bear. That's the scariest thing. The fucking drop bear.
The what?
The drop bear. Koalas. Fucking drop out the fucking tree and fucking just maul your fucking dome. Never heard drop bears?
Have you ever heard them fight?
Heard them fight? Is that a thing?
Have you ever We'll pull it up later, and I'll let you
I don't think
see
I've
a
ever
video
heard.
later.
No, never heard a Koala fight. But
It will bring you a horror like no other. Anyway, back to All In.
back to
Sorry.
All In, back to England, back to Wembley. I think this was a show littered with opportunity. I think there was more. I don't want to say like, oh, there were more chances to fuck up than do good, but there were more opportunities than guarantees. Like you said, they built stuff up with 2 weeks. A lot of that shit was gonna either be really great or fucking suck.
Yeah.
And overall, I'd say the show delivered. I think I'm less enthused about a lot of the things that happened on that show than most people. And I think the drama has overshadowed it. Because I think the drama with
a year later,
Mr. Phil
again,
has just become the story. And
it seems like he's easily provoked, and he was provoked. I mean, Jack Perry said that. I don't really. I don't know. It's stupid. It's all stupid.
I think
they're babies,
and we can get into this more as we go through this lineup. But when we get to the actual CM Punk match, we'll talk more about that. But they fucked around and they found out, man.
Yeah.
That's what keeps happening. People keep fucking around with CM Punk. And here's the thing. CM Punk is a straight edge hardcore dude. He grew up listening to fucking hardcore ass punk. He's a straight edge guy. He's from Chicago. I grew up with dudes like CM Punk. I know dudes that come from that same mentality. Jack Perry, the Young Bucks, Little Ziggler. What's his name? Little Ziggler.
Little Ziggler.
I
Ryan
turn
Nemeth.
BTE off every time he's on. Ryan Nemeth.
Yeah.
All these little dorks fucked around and found out. Let's look at this. Let's look up to All In. What happened with CM Punk so far? Hangman talked shit on live TV. Got talked back to. The Young Bucks walked in his dressing room after he invited them in. After he had expressed being super fucking upset with everything that was going on in the company. Then they walked into his dressing room. They fucked around and they found out. I unfortunately don't think a lot of these dudes have ever had to deal with being punched in the mouth. Or ever came from a world where what you say can get you fucking punched in the mouth. I grew up going to metal and hardcore shows and seeing dudes like CM Punk with that same mentality where you talk two things of shit to them and they just fucking berserker maul your fucking face. I've seen dudes that look like CM Punk just drill people straight in their eye socket in a mosh pit because they fucking have like a swastika on their shirt.
You don't think this second time around at the biggest wrestling event, all this shit going on right before your match that you're about to walk out to, and the first match on the main card, you don't think he could have reeled it in and waited and handled it in a better situation, in a better way? Yeah, it's funny as hell that he choked Jack Perry out to me. 100%. I agree. That is hilarious.
What was he supposed to do?
Because even if he is the lowest rung of jiu-jitsu, if he's trained for a year in jiu-jitsu, he's gonna fuck up Jack Perry. I'm sorry. Like
he did.
He's a purple belt, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but I feel like a year later, from what happened with the brawl out a year ago, and the suspensions and all this shit, and the fact that everybody's gonna try and work together again, and now you got your own shit, like, and you're at Wembley and you're about to go out for your match, you don't think you could have reeled it in and been like the adult with that child? Because you did say these are fucking children who haven't been punched in the face, and at this point, I'm starting to get frustrated that if he really isn't at fault, he could have reeled it in.
Yes. I'm not necessarily going to sit here and say...
Because supposedly he ranted about he was about done with it, and he almost took away Joe's opportunity to perform.
I heard the words...
Yeah.
I'm seeing that the words "I quit" came out of his mouth.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's petty.
I'm not going to disagree that it's petty. But Okay. Jack Perry, in his match, smacks the fucking roof and goes, real glass, cry me a river.
Yeah.
If this was 1997, if this was Shawn and Brett, and I don't know, let's just say Shawn Michaels did that, we wouldn't know why. We wouldn't necessarily right away understand why did he smack the glass, say real glass, cry me a river, and go back to this match. But this is the age of Twitter.
Right.
To where as soon as he did that, we all knew. The whole world knew what he fucking meant by it.
Yeah.
What's Punk supposed to do when he's back there watching the monitor? His match is up next.
Wait till
he's
after his match, maybe, or I don't know,
like I said, I'm not necessarily saying that Mr. Phil made the right move. I'm not saying that what he did was the most adult choice. But let's think about the other legends of wrestling, the other big names. Let's go back in time. Stone Cold Steve Austin's in the ring. Or no, Stone Cold Steve Austin's backstage. Stone Cold Steve Austin is in the back watching the monitor, okay? Let's say Brood Christian. Not even like years later, Captain Charisma, all that shit. I'm picking a mid-carder, Brood era Christian. Let's say
I just don't believe it would matter any of this right now because, like you said, it was a different time. It would have happened backstage. We would have never found out what the reaction would be.
But if Christian walked in the back after saying something on camera, even if we didn't know about it, if he walked up to Stone Cold Steve Austin and said, "You're gonna do something about it,"
well, he's not smart.
Exactly. Apparently, that's
Neither
exactly what
of
Jack
them are
Perry
smart.
did. He walked in the back, walked right up to it, and said, "What are you gonna do about it?" Like, yes, CM Punk made a bad choice, but CM Punk's still a man. He's still a man, and he's still the top guy. Like, who the fuck is Jack Perry?
I know. All right. He's a pillar.
He's a fucking dork. He's a little fucking dork, is what he is. I was that close to liking him. I was that close.
So close.
I was loving the heel gimmick, and now I kind of like the heel gimmick, but I'm also like, oh, you're dumb. You're dumb. But anyway.
Let's get to the pre-show.
Back to All In, back to the pre-show. So, the first match on the pre-show.
What'd you think of the venue, real quick? I've seen a lot of Wembley Stadium from FA Cup finals, and soccer events, and stuff like that. It was massive.
Massive.
I feel it's
there was
massive.
A weird gap, though. There was a weird gap between the floor, I noticed, and I feel like they could have put more seats. It looked like they could have put more seats on the floor. It had that Tokyo Dome feel.
Yeah.
Tokyo Dome has that really big space between the floor seats and the bowl.
I have this question about the floor seats in the Tokyo Dome, and it's the same reason why I think they were empty in Wembley. I almost feel like the Tokyo Dome, somehow they slant their seats. Why does everything feel like it's on a slope there? Because I feel like at Wembley, with that flat surface and how big it was, at a certain distance, there's no fucking point in even trying to put a chair there. Because it's so, people, yes, are far away in the upper deck, but there's a certain area of that floor where there would be no point, and I'd rather be up in the top row of the entire stadium than the furthest point back in that.
That's a really valid point. That at a certain point with that flat angle, you're just so far away, you're just seeing the back of heads.
Plus, my other theory was with the corners being open the way they were in those big sections, you have places for Stadium Stampede to perform for people, which still, we will discuss it, I think would have been a nightmare to try and watch live because it was a nightmare to watch on TV.
I couldn't imagine having to pay attention to that in the stadium.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way. It's just You go and you get your food and your drink at that point. You go get yourself a pint and some chips, and you fucking hope that you run into the guys fighting at the concession stand, because that might be your best chance. And we'll talk about it later on or whatever. I mean, there's a few moments from it that stood out. We'll talk about Porcupine Head, I'm sure. And
so the pre-show.
Pre-show.
What was that? The first match. What was that first match, Brendon?
Well, I didn't see the very, very beginning, and I don't think it was a match, but apparently something happened with Jeff Jarrett that and Satnam Singh and the guys that you said Anthony Agogo, Paul White, and Grado came down. I'm not too familiar with Grado. Is he some big guy over there? I know a lot of European wrestling, but I don't know Grado.
Grado is English Orange Cassidy.
I think he's Scottish, if I'm not mistaken.
Scottish Orange Cassidy. He's,
Gotcha.
he's Clementine Cassidy. Decent worker from what I understand. He's been doing it a really long time. People like what he does. He comes out to the Madonna song, the "Like a Prayer, I'm down on my knees.
Oh, no.
I wanna take you there." But for me, it falls in that same category as Orange Cassidy. It's very comedic, very overthought out is the term that I'm going to use. Grado is to European wrestling what I think Orange Cassidy is to current AEW. People like
Gotcha.
it. Super over. People fucking dig the dog shit out of it. But in my opinion, it doesn't play very well among all the other people on that roster.
Gotcha.
I think it was an opportunity for the local pop. It was an opportunity with a lot of the radio stations. From what I understand, Grado's on a local radio station there as like a personality.
Gotcha.
And was one of Jeff Jarrett's like partners with the media scrums. Or not the scrums, but the media calls.
I heard he got revenge on Jarrett, so Jarrett must have done something to him.
Jarrett put a guitar over his head in an interview.
Gotcha.
So that was the comeback for that. Anthony Ogogo was there. Honestly, I feel like this was an opportunity to look at the arena, see how cool everything looked. They did a lot of big sweeping shots. Somebody had to open the show.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't terrible,
A little warm up.
0 hour.
If anybody's watching the video, and you might be curious, why did I just get up and run across the room real quick? Sammy was halfway into a Kentucky Fried Chicken bag getting scraps and pushing it across the floor, and I just heard this noise, and then I see a Kentucky Fried Chicken bag moving like this, and then just the butt of a Siamese cat walking it across the floor. So, cat stuff. I was like, I'll get away with this by just doing this with my hands, and realized, wait, we're doing video. Perfect.
Well, yeah. We can always either edit that out, put something over it, or have like a transition. Ooh, we can try transitions. It'd be really cool.
Nah, just play the whole thing straight through.
So after Jeff Jarrett's match,
let me see how the sausage is made.
After Jeff Jarrett's match, we had
Aussie Open, MJF and Adam Cole.
Aussie Open, MJF, Adam Cole. So
it did not go the way I expected. I will not lie. My hand up. I didn't think Aussie Open was going to lose. I really enjoy Aussie Open. I think they're a lot of fun. Hopefully they're going to go for the AEW titles now. But what did you think of the match? You saw it actually more than I did. I had to watch it back later on because I was on my way to your place.
The Aussie Open guys are growing on me. They are... Every time I watch them, I like them a little bit more. I'll say the same thing about Will Ospreay. We'll talk about it later, but I think this was the match where it clicked for me. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But
I ordered my United Empire kit.
Yeah,
I ordered my green United Empire kit.
A wrestling soccer jersey. Of course, you're going to fucking buy it. So,
and it's green.
I'm liking those guys more and more. I'm surprised that you think that they were going to keep the belts. I'm surprised you didn't think that they were going to switch to Adam Cole and MJF with the titles.
No, absolutely.
Have you been watching the show? Have you been watching Dynamite or any of it? Of course they're gonna put the belts on those guys.
I really didn't think they were. I really didn't think they were. I thought they were going to add a little bit of tension going into the main event. I thought there was going to be a slight mix-up. Something was going to happen. They were going to add a little bit of tension going in to just add another story layer to their. They might throw some cracks in the friendship because honestly, and we can talk about it later, I really thought we were going to get a double swerve of a completely heel Adam Cole and the Kingdom screwing over MJF, who finally got his friend. And I thought I had it in my head. Bravo to them. I mean, did it leave me a little underwhelmed? Yes. Did I expect it? No. So I guess they did what they wanted. They hit me
I
with
was gonna
something I didn't
say,
expect.
talking about finishes that we did not enjoy. That's 100% mine.
Yeah, gotcha.
But we'll get there.
Okay, yeah.
I think it
But
was
yeah,
the right
Aussie
move to put
Open
the belts
was-
on them. The Ring of Honor titles. I mean,
If they're going to do something with Ring of Honor, then yes. If you can start getting Ring of Honor somewhere, get a TV show, then use Cole and MJF to bring even more eyes to whatever their shenanigans are going to be as friends on Ring of Honor.
I think this is
Awesome.
more for Aussie Open. I think you got to get the Ring of Honor titles off of them. You can't have. I think they're going to the. I don't want to call it the main roster. They're going to like Dynamite Collision.
Yeah.
More. And I think the Ring of Honor titles, I hate to say it, and this is somebody who loves what Ring of Honor was in 2016 through 2018. Tony Khan's Ring of Honor fucking sucks. Shit is fucking terrible. I don't like, and I have
Tony Khan's Ring of Honor worse than Vince McMahon's ECW.
Yeah, because nobody cares. Like I have people.
Nobody cares. There's no way to really see it. Yeah.
I know people that work there, and I want them to succeed, and I want that company to succeed.
Yeah.
But I don't. You have all of this talent, all of this ability to get talent. You have the name in indie wrestling, Ring of Honor, the name that holds more cachet with indie wrestling fans, and honestly, with like wrestling fans than any other federation that wasn't owned by a McMahon.
Pick a main star nowadays. They've probably been in Ring of Honor.
Exactly. So to use that as not even your NXT is fucking ridiculous. It's your new Dark. It's your new Elevation.
Yeah.
Like, why is all of this crossover happening? Why are all these stars on both things? Like that, the Ring of Honor titles being on another show doesn't matter.
They might
to
as
me.
well be AEW minor titles.
100%. And I think also that's why you had to get the titles off of Aussie Open. You can't have them walking out there with the Ring of Honor tag team titles if you want them to be taken seriously on Dynamite or Collision. And they're going to go to Dynamite. I mean, come on. So I think this match was both a setup for the main event, because with them having the belts, Adam Cole and MJF, I mean...
This match was just so we could see one kangaroo kick. That's what this match was.
That's when I knew they were going to win, when they had a gimmick move. They had a kangaroo kick. They had a silly catchphrase move, the kangaroo kick. I was like, oh, that's it. The whole match is going to be about them getting off that kangaroo kick.
Yeah.
About MJF hitting that bitch. And that's the way it went. So I think this match did its job. It was a great way of closing out the pre-show. I thought it was a good method of setting up a storyline to tell later on in the main event. And also, like I said, I think it was a great way of getting the belts off of Aussie Open. If you really want them to do something with Aussie Open, they can't have those fucking Ring of Honor titles. They can't have them.
I mean, they could just pull a Kenny and be the belt collectors. Or like FTR just did.
I was gonna say, like, the belt collector gimmick is dead to me.
Yeah.
So many people have done it. I mean, Matt Cardona did it on the Indies, even, for Christ's fucking sake.
Yeah.
You're not gonna, unless your name rhymes with Schmultimo Dragon. I don't care about how many belts you got. Sorry.
Actually, now they pan to the crowd and we see somebody. We don't see the boot that she's wearing because it's hidden behind the people in the crowd, but Mercedes Moné, what do you think about that?
I think that's where she belongs. I think that's where she's going to make the most money. I don't know. I haven't kept up with her contract, so I don't know how much time she has left, when she's out of it. Are they putting this time on the shelf? So I don't know when she's done with New Japan.
There's some fun matchups I'd like to see with her for sure.
I think the matchup
I like the AEW's women's division
Saraya.
for sure.
I think the money's in her versus Saraya. I mean, the two women that really made the biggest splash after their WWE runs.
Yeah, but also like that whole, I don't want to say Goldberg Austin, but star of one company, star of another company. Britt Baker Sasha is going to be another big match for him as well.
Yeah,
I want to see I want to see anybody in Jamie Hayter. I need Jamie Hayter back there. It's a shame that Hayter could not be in England. That's crushing right there.
I love some Jamie Hayter.
Absolutely, 100%. I'm a hater. After this, the first time ever that the FTW title was defended out of the United States.
It's the first time it was defended by a fucking dork.
Jack Perry.
What a fucking dork. So
you don't like him coming out to Beethoven?
I don't dislike that idea. I don't dislike the idea of anti-music. I think for the proper heel, the idea of like anti-theme music works. And I think that classifies as that. Like classical music is not what you're going to expect for that kind of a character. So it feels like anti-music. The same thing for like I love Don Callis's entrance noise. The fucking, the dryer, like the fucking, the dryer that's like off balance.
He and Takeshi have it. Yeah.
I fucking think that's incredible.
Jarring.
It's so disorienting for a heel. So I get what they're doing with stuff like that with Jack Perry.
Yeah.
I hated the outfit. It sounds weird to say. I think a couple weeks ago when he wore those...
he's wearing his dad's clothes.
Is that what that is?
He's been wearing leather jackets that his dad wore in 902.
Well, the pants that said like FTW on them. A couple weeks ago, he wore the pants that were like a parody of Jerry Lynn's gear.
Oh,
when he wrestled Van Dam. I think that was the best gear he had. I honestly think he should have kept that. If you're gonna do this whole thing that like he's the new, because I think where they're going is he's gonna be the king of extreme. They're gonna do that, like the non-hardcore guy.
He lost
as the hardcore thing. Yeah, but he could still brag about it. He's still the guy fighting ECW guys and ECW shit like that. He went through the windshield and all that shit. So,
I think we eventually see Luchasaurus turn on Christian Cage, still stay heel, and Jungle Boy, and Jack Perry and Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus needs to lose the mask, but that's a whole other thing. Go to be Judas Drevlin or whatever his real name is.
I think at this point that the dinosaur. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. So the show opens. That's the end of the pre-show. Hook gets his dad's belt back.
Yeah.
Crazy. From where Hook's gone to and where he's at now at Wembley. Holy crap.
This was the first. Hook's walk back to the ring was the first time I really paid attention to the entrance, not just the stage, but the walk that they had, the way they got to the ring, like the way they turned.
I like that tunnel.
What
do you think of the tunnel with the TVs and the screens inside?
I love the tunnel. I love the tunnel.
Yeah.
I feel like there wasn't as much space at the end of the walkway before the ring.
Yeah.
For them to like kind of like, I didn't feel like and not that every wrestling entrance needs this, but like you're at the top of the ramp, they're doing the pose, they're walking in, they walk down the ramp, and then there's like sometimes when they do that stop moment at the bottom of the ramp before they turn left or right to walk around the ring.
Yeah.
I feel like we didn't get that good camera shot, or I don't know if there wasn't enough space or what they were doing, but I feel like they went from the stage to the ramp to being in the ring. I felt like every entrance had that interesting moment where around the ring, they always hit that wide shot.
It was a little tight.
Yeah, it felt like they didn't put as much space around the ring for like cameras and walkarounds as they should have. The first time I noticed it was when Hook walked back with the FTW title, because I noticed it made that shot and that angle made the arena look huge, but it made that space look really cramped right there at the end of the ramp before they get in the ring.
All right, so the pre-show ends. Apparently, during these moments, while the pre-show ends and the main show is about to begin, is when the confrontation between Perry and Punk happens. So now the main show begins. Punk comes out. Actually, Joe comes out first. Punk comes out. Punk bleeds like a stuck pig at one point after going through the bottom of the announce table.
Mm-hmm.
Ends up winning with the old Pepsi plunge. I kind of wrote down, not a bad match. Joe is just always awesome. Punk's antics are annoying. Will we ever see him wrestle in AEW again? And my other comment was the one cool thing is, imagine these two guys who've had this amazing rivalry over the years, going from probably 20 people to 80,000. How cool is it to run that back over the years?
Longest rivalries in the Indies.
Yeah, from the indie days to the largest paid attendance that wasn't drawn in at gunpoint in wrestling history.
And for anyone that doesn't know what Brendon's talking about there, look up the Collision in Korea.
There's a great Dark Side of the Ring episode about Collision in Korea.
Dark Side of the Ring, like he's saying, but look up that match if you want to know what we're talking about the true holder of the largest wrestling event in recorded history. The true holder, Korea.
It took place in North Korea.
However, most of the people were there by gunpoint.
Yeah.
So,
or just implied gunpoint, I guess we could say. Yeah.
Someone will die.
Yeah.
So,
any other comments about Joe Punk? I mean, we've covered the antics. Anything about the match you liked or didn't like? What do you think of the Real World title?
I think the Real World title is more of the same. If last year we hadn't have gotten the same exact angle where Punk got hurt, came back with the title, fought John Moxley, title versus title.
Yeah.
If that hadn't happened a year ago, I think the Real World's title is a great idea.
Right.
I also... How old... Okay. 2019. So we're talking the first belt's 4 years old.
Yeah.
And now there's another one.
Right.
Where are we going? What do we?
It feels like, I mean, they wanted a title for Collision to have their own title, but it feels like a very insulting way to go about it. The Real World title, unless you already have plans to unify, which I'm sure they do at some point, but I don't think we're ever going to see that happen.
Stop letting your fucking roster dictate how your shit runs.
Yeah.
See, I'm saying that as somebody who likes Punk. Stop letting the wrestlers dictate what happens in the company.
Yeah.
Two people don't want to work together. Fuck them.
Right.
Fuck them. Did somebody actually violate somebody or commit a crime against somebody? No.
Edge and Matt Hardy
work together, make money.
Showed that this can happen. Brett and Shawn Michaels showed that this can happen. People don't have to like each other to make shit happen.
Matt Hardy should talk about that to those people. Dude, Edge was banging my girl. And I came back and had a fucking match.
And making references of it on TV to everyone.
I lost my job because he took my girl and I didn't shut the fuck up about it. But I came back and made money and did what was right for business.
All right.
What was right for wrestling. So I as much as I support Punk against the Dorks, they all just got to figure it out and just make some cool shit happen.
Right. Next match. I really like this one because in this match, the one comment that I wrote down is you could take almost any combination of these 6 men and have a match that I want to see. Just take these guys, pull 2 of the names out of the hat, and you're going to have a great match. You have Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega, and Hangman Page against Jay White, Juice Robinson, and Konosuke Takeshita.
Juice Robinson over everyone.
I didn't like Juice Robinson's little gold panties. Keep Juice in pants because he was wearing little gold panties. No, I was out. I don't know why. I don't care about that shit usually. And also, what has been the best thing going for the Bang Bang Gang lately?
Juice
the Bullet Club? No. Besides that.
Oh, what's his name? Card J or
the cardboard cutout of
Cardblade?
How did the cardboard cutout of Switchblade not make it to Wembley? Because that's one of my favorite things they've been doing is bringing him into the mix. But Jay White's just so sick, so good. I mean, Juice, bravo to find a way to put the guns over is just kind of looking like badasses out to the side. Oh, what else did I say? Kota Ibushi looks like he was drawn by an animator. I don't understand how he's a real person. His face doesn't look real. He just looks like he's been created. Yeah. And he's this superhero. I don't know. He's kind of like Okada to me. They aren't
looks
real
like he's
people.
made out of plastic.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a real person.
I want to know what it's like to have abs like that just for an hour one day. He just wants to go, yeah, feel these fuckers.
I want to know, Is he ever gonna like go to a barber that has a haircut book that didn't come from like a child's barber shop?
Yeah.
It's my only thing with Kota Ibushi. I'm like, man.
It looks like
Man.
okay. It looks like when they would take those little Lego guys and put new hair on them. It's one of those little caps.
What was the old Peter Pan where Peter Pan was played by a woman?
It was played by
Julie Andrews?
Not Julie Andrews. Pretty Woman. Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts was not Peter Pan.
Not Peter Pan, but she was. Oh, are you talking? I think you're talking about the Tinkerbell cut that Julia Roberts had in.
No.
I'm talking about that Tinkerbell cut.
No, Kota Ibushi
has.
Now I gotta look this up. Who was that?
No, Kota Ibushi has
Peter
Tinkerbell.
Pan. Female
May have been.
Peter Pan.
You sound like you're on an old typewriter.
Mary Martin.
Oh, fantastic.
Hold on.
Mary Martin.
I'm gonna show you this. I want you to look up Mary Martin.
That is number one. That is the worst hyperlink I have ever seen in my life.
I can't help what Discord does.
Look at the size of that. That's terrible.
So go ahead and look. This is
I'm
Mary
looking
Martin.
at it. The first, yeah. What female played Peter Pan? Mary Martin, 1955.
Yep.
Jean Arthur gets credit for being the first Broadway Peter Pan. Mary Martin's recreation of the role for NBC's Broadway live production of Peter Pan is more widely praised, although the first one was Betty Bronson in a 1924 silent film.
Yes.
That had to be boring as hell.
Mary Martin was the Peter Pan that I watched growing up as a kid. And click to those pictures. Tell me that's not Kota Ibushi's haircut.
Oh, no. I see it. I see it. No, I see it.
Kota Ibushi gets the Mary Martin haircut.
Right, exactly.
He just walks in with the clamshell Disney video case. You know how they came in the Disney. For some reason, Disney felt like in the 80s and 90s, they had to put their VHS tapes in like throw-proof plastic boxes. You know, those big white Disney video cases that we used to have?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For some reason, like he just walks around with one of those when he gets a haircut, just shows it to him and points.
Yeah, exactly.
Says, I want to look like Mary.
I thought it was a great match. I mean, all those dudes are just so talented. It was nice that we didn't have to really deal with Don Callis getting involved because some of that's been annoying lately. Like he gets thrown out of a match, but then shows back up and weird things. He was on commentary, whatever. But
Archers Robinson, less of everybody else.
Takeshita gets the pin. I think we're gonna be setting up. Like I said, like I could take any combination of these guys, but I think of course we're setting up Omega Takeshita. But there was a moment in there where I saw Takeshita and Ibushi going at it that I need Takeshita and Ibushi to have a singles match for me, for sure. And let Jay White and Omega do some more stuff. Let them all just mix it up and just switch on and off. Let them go have a key party and just keep swapping on and off with each other.
Wait, what?
Well, not sex, but wrestling. You know what I mean.
Ooh, a wrestling key party.
Wrestling key party. Draw a key.
Everybody puts their
wrestling.
keys in a bowl.
Yep.
That's who you have a match with. I love that. What if there's only one key left? They just got to go in the ring by themselves.
They gotta wrestle the dummy like Ibushi did that time. You gotta wrestle.
Is that what happened to him?
Doll. Wrestle the blow up.
Did he draw the solo key at the key party?
Yeah.
Is that what happened? And then later on, Omega did it, or vice versa, something like that. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, awesome match there. Takeshi gets the pin. What really surprised me was kind of this first three matches order. You go Punk Joe, you go those six guys, and then you think you're going to take a break, but then you immediately go into FTR and the Bucks.
That was a very interesting choice because I think, not to take anything away from them, I feel like House of Black Acclaimed got a really late spot.
They did.
Compared to other things that were happening.
Yeah.
Got a really late spot.
Yeah.
And I guess great for Billy Gunn.
I feel like half. I thought about this later on. It's funny that you mentioned that. Call it maybe some of Bray and stuff like that, but I think a lot of House of Black's positioning was based on making Wembley Stadium dark for their entrance, for the white outfits, for the fireflies that they did, for the lantern that Buddy pulled out, and things like that. And just there was something about it that I think that entrance would have sucked if they had come out here in the broad daylight at number 3.
And unfortunately, I mean, once again, rest in peace, Wyndham. Wyndham was
My favorite, the most creative. Like, I feel like I'm still watching wrestling now because of him. Because I started to fade at one point, and then the Wyatt family in NXT it was the coolest thing to me. There's no better promo. Like,
And it's funny that you mentioned them trying to get the match later, because I remember when Bray wrestled The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
right.
It was in SoFi Stadium in San Francisco?
Yeah, or San
Diego? SoFi Stadium. Either way, California.
Yeah.
So Bray went on at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon their time. So like I remember that specifically, the time that he went on that was just daylight, and the Undertaker's walking out, and it's daylight.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing ever
Very
to see
odd.
the Undertaker have a daytime match at any time that's not
It's like they're doing it.
1992.
It's like they're doing a dress rehearsal. It's very
It
weird.
feel like that, but
Right. Inglewood,
just funny.
California for SoFi.
because I wonder if they did push. Okay, Inglewood. Thank you.
Yes.
If they did push that match back purely to get it dark, I like that. That feels a little poetic to me and kind of a little fitting. So
Yeah, I'm good with it. That's what I'm going to pretend happened. FTR, Bucks was good. A lot of great classic spots. There was even a great moment of almost a flashback to when Cash tried the 450, and you thought they were going to mess it up again by trying to be flyers. And there were some cool moments. I will be honest. I wanted FTR to win this. I did not think it was going to happen. I truly didn't. And
sometimes people do the right thing.
you know what? I really think so. And then at the end of the match, I think how do you think we're going to go here? They went for the handshake. I honestly thought we were going to get one. Are we going to have yet again another heel turn? Or is there going to be just we're going to rematch this at all out? What do you think?
I think this is another rematch. I think they're going to have the type of
I thought the trilogy
relationship where I think we're destined to do this forever kind of thing.
Gotcha.
I could see that round and round continuing, because I think we're in a position now. I don't think either team can concede. Really, like you can't have a better one at this point, because then the other team's irrelevant. Really, I mean it's Hogan Flair.
Right. It's Joker Batman.
You can't really ever have one come out completely on top as the best, because then the other one kind of has to start going downward in popularity, downward in momentum.
Right.
I think we can. I think they can. Personally, I think they can do this forever.
All right.
Really quick though.
So then,
for your soccer fans, did you see the chant that got started during their match?
No, but I do have a real quick couple things. Let me give you a quick. You tell me the chant, but I did make a couple quick notes of two other things that can be noted here. Number one, I'll go ahead and do these. The Freddie Mercury jackets were kind of cool by the Bucks to come out to. I don't know if you noticed the yellow jackets. That was very Freddie Mercury. That was 100% a tribute to Freddie Mercury. We'll see another one of those later with Soraya, of course. And the other thing was there was a very unique and very unfortunate sign that popped up in the audience. I don't know if you saw it.
Which sign?
FTR. Fear the revolver.
Oh, and watch the chant I just sent you. Your soccer buddies over there got a really great one together.
Oh, they're so good.
So this chant's from the arena.
Wheel's got a gun, got a gun, God's got a gun. I knew the beat the minute I started to hear it. Wheel's got a gun, got a gun, God's got a gun. Oh
so hold on. Let's back this up a little bit. For those not familiar with the soccer chant, what is that specific beat? Is it a beat?
I don't know.
Is it a rhythm?
There's just different beats and things that they will do chants to.
LA
happens a lot. Like LA. Like there's a great one that's been making the rounds lately about a guy who I can't think of. I've eaten all the chippies. The one about I'm a big fat bastard and I ate the fucking food. LA. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what the other chant was that.
So hold on.
Someone in NXT UK used that same chant of the Wheelers got a gun, but the same chant, but the same beat, but a different.
So help me
chant.
out. You're the soccer. You're the leader. You're the what is that called? The guy that leads the soccer chant.
We call them capos.
What's the okay? You're my capo.
Yep.
You're teaching me that chant. How do you explain to me my first time at an event? Let's say it's a soccer game and you got to teach me that chant. How do you explain that to me?
It just starts happening. People just pick it up by the second one. One person will start it, and the other people just hear the beat and go with it. Wheeler's got a gun. Got a gun. Wheeler's got a gun.
I'm trying to get it. No, I'm trying to get it.
Play it again. Play it and go with them.
Okay, hold on. Let's see here. Got a gun. Hold on. Wheeler's got a gun. Is it two got a guns? So Wheeler's got a gun. Got a gun. So it's the second one. The second one's the got a gun. It's faster.
Yeah.
Let's try this again.
They add words in all the time.
Hold on.
They're thrown in real quick.
Hold on. Got a gun. There's got a gun. Got a gun. I can't.
Should have just put the YouTube clip in here so they could hear it here for a second. We have the technology. We can do this. But anyway, I love the chants. I was expecting more of them in Wembley. I'm kind of surprised I didn't hear as many singing chants as we used to see on like NXT UK and at other European shows, because that is one of my favorite things about European audiences and that's what I love about soccer is it just becomes a spectacle and it's so much fun.
I don't think they know how to mic a stadium as well as WWE.
Yeah.
I hate to say that. I think part of that could be technical. I feel like aside from that constant just like of the crowd, it was hard to pick up on anything other than the cheers.
Yeah. The next match was what I said would probably, and you agreed, be a living nightmare to try and follow. Or not follow, but watch from inside the stadium, and that's Stadium Stampede. It gave 10 guys something to do on the card. A couple things that I noted real quick. The team of the Blackpool Combat Club came out in peacoats, which I always love a good peacoat. I thought it looked pretty cool. I want a Blackpool Combat Club peacoat. Santana and Ortiz, it's great to see them back. Mm-hmm. But it seems to me
Ortiz fan.
But it seems to me like they specifically did not match on purpose.
I don't think we're going to see Santana back.
We either don't see Santana again, or it's going to be a separate thing. Because, I mean, Santana looks like he's in better shape than I've ever seen him. He looked like a jacked KC Navarro with the way he was wearing his gear and stuff like that.
The man is such a talent, such a fucking unit. That dude...
He could be a singles champ on his own. I really like his look.
He looks like he could fucking eat glass and shit fucking fiberglass, bro. He looks like he could fucking fuck you 6 ways to Sunday. That dude has evolved beyond that original. When I first saw Santana and Ortiz was right when LAX was still doing that thing where they always were painted up like the movie Dead Presidents. Loved it. Thought it was great. Great tag team. Love what they did. But I really think Santana's broken out as the star. I don't want to take anything away from Ortiz. I just feel like Santana was the better one, or at least the breakout of the two.
Yeah. So what do you think about Pharrell Ortiz?
I love Pharrell Ortiz. That hat needs to stay around forever. that crazy fucking hat that he has, that like camel skin, camel hair.
He had this like cool Cuban gangster type look. There was something about that was sick.
Like that hat looks so cool fancy you can't get it wet. That looks like that hat is so nice, but you probably can't get a drop of water on that fucking thing. So this match for me was a bunch of people I really enjoy doing a match I couldn't watch.
It's a shame. It really is.
I love so many of the people in this match. I'm an Eddie Kingston fucking fan. Love me some Eddie Kingston.
Absolutely.
Love me some... Dude, I like Moxley.
I believe everything Eddie Kingston says.
I like Blackpool Combat Club. I believe Eddie Kingston more than anybody else in wrestling.
Yeah.
So I like a lot of the people involved
Orange
in this.
Cassidy.
Penta,
Trent.
Not so much those last two.
Chuck Taylor.
Okay, he was there. But I think this was wrestlers I liked figuring out how to do something huge at a huge event.
Yeah.
If half of that was fully thought out before the match, I'll call you a fucking liar. At some points, I felt like they didn't know where they were going or what they were doing. The sure as fucking the camera people didn't.
There were a few moments that I think we do know that they were planning, hopefully. Like, let me give you a couple examples. Would you rather me skewer you or fork you? Because we saw a little bit of both. There was definitely some vicious forking with a fork to the head. But the skewers in Moxley and the porcupine moment of his head.
I say this not knowing. Not knowing how either of those things work. I don't know that. I feel like the skewer is an easier project than the fork. It looks like they're getting right in the hairline and jamming them all in together into one spot to where it just opens up. That doesn't look like you're getting 1,000 little holes. You're probably getting 2 or 3 mediocre
a
jabs.
Bunch of skewers together, you're getting all of those holes.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like the fork could go accidental and go all over. I would trust somebody to take the skewers in the top of my head than to just go ham on my head with a fucking fork.
Yeah.
100%.
I don't know. Also in this match, other unique moments that I remember that stood out. Trent's mom, Sue, apparently got a minivan over in Europe at Wembley. She pulled up in a Mercedes minivan. She flew over, apparently rented one to pull into the stadium. Special access. Funny moment about that, Moxley immediately kissed his mother. I found that to be hilarious. Like, Sue pulls in, what's the first thing that happens? Mox is just gonna go kiss her. That was kind of funny because Trent lost his mind. Also, did you ever see the old movie Kickboxer back in the day?
100%.
What'd you think of Orange Cassidy rolling his fist in some glass for some orange punches with glass to end the match on Claudio there? And do you think the fact that Orange Cassidy pinned Claudio means that we might see Orange and Claudio for the Ring of Honor title?
No, I think this is gonna be how Orange Cassidy ascends into the world title picture.
For AEW's world title?
Yeah,
He's still holding that international.
Yeah,
who's that? Who takes that? I'm about ready for someone.
I don't think anybody does. I think Tony
should have taken it.
I think Tony keeps the belt on him, and then they're gonna do title versus title one day. MJF versus Orange Cassidy.
Put that.
Why? Because Tony Khan has no fucking common sense. Because he doesn't know what the fuck is actually happening, and I don't know Orange Cassidy. I'm not shitting on the dude. Am I living in backwards reality that like I don't get it. I don't get Orange Cassidy. I still don't fucking get it. I get what it's supposed to be. I get what they're wanting to do, but like, how is it not old to everyone else?
It amuses me here and there, but yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Any other notes on Stadium Stampede? Have you seen enough Stadium Stampedes yet?
I've seen more Stadium Stampedes than I ever need to fucking see in my life. Like,
first one was great.
The first one was really great, and
lots of fun spots.
The one with Matt Hardy. Which one was the one with Matt Hardy?
Oh, where he kept changing personas and Ortiz was inside the bell and got run.
Oh, I was gonna say when he fucking fell off the goddamn forklift.
The concussion. Oh, and Sammy.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
You heard his fucking pancake smack the pan. Jesus.
Yeah, that was tough. So now we're moving on back to some really good stuff and
to once again to state. I do not dislike anybody that was in, even the best friends who I'm not a huge fan of. I don't dislike anybody severely in that Stadium Stampede match. I didn't want it.
I need a heel Trent breaking off, and I think Trent Beretta becomes a monster.
I think they lost that opportunity when Wheeler Yuta went to the Blackpool Combat Club.
I thought it was coming then too.
Because who's he going to turn on? Chuck Taylor?
Oh yeah,
You're not going to turn on Chuck Taylor.
Chuck's your new Marty Jannetty.
Man, if there's anything I never want to be in life,
maybe we should do
somebody's Marty Jannetty.
Maybe we could do some episodes at some point where we talk about Dark Sides of the Ring.
If any one of us become the Marty Jannetty of this, we're just going to end it. It ends there. The stream comes down, the channel goes black, everything. If one of us ever is the Marty Jannetty of Thirsty Thursday.
Oh God.
I like my feet too much.
Oh God. Your next match. Unfortunately, it was the only women's match, but it was a great match. You have a 4-way match for the title. Coming in with the title, Hikaru Shida, who finally gets to have the title in front of people.
How do you say her name?
Hikaru Shida. I said Hikaru. I go back and forth.
I was going to say...
Hikaru real fast.
Do people say Hikaru? Do people say Hikaru?
I've heard it different ways.
Huh. I'm not... I just did a little bit of a double take with that pronunciation. I just have never heard that one.
Okay, Shida. Tony Storm,
Mm-hmm.
who I just give me every vintage hairstyle on Tony Storm. I don't know what it is. I also love the old marquee pinup thing they did. New thing. I think we do see the new Tony Storm by herself, and I fucking love
I think this was the end of Outcasts.
It might. Well, I think we still see Outcasts with 2 of them, maybe. I don't know. Britt Baker, and of course the entire family, every member,
the entire Raiders football
all.
Team, fucking was Bobby Knight.
Why
what was his name?
Soraya's dad wearing? It said Nightmare.
Ricky Knight. Bobby Knight. Wasn't Bobby Knight like a basketball coach?
Bobby Knight was the basketball coach for the Indiana Hoosiers.
There you go. So not Bobby.
He was
Knight,
known for throwing
Ricky
chairs.
Knight.
Both of them still threw chairs. Very similar. Yeah.
So the Knight family.
What do you think of that? She also came down to "We Will Rock You" by Queen. Went over very big. She had Union Jack boobs.
Imagine if Tony Khan spent that much time thinking about booking.
How much money do you think he's spent on the rights to songs so far?
That
"Carry On My Wayward Son."
That's the number I'd love to see. Fuck your 80,000 tickets. Fuck all of your pay-per-views. How much money have you spent to date on licensed music?
We still got Seek and Destroy coming on this same show tonight, remember? Oh, yeah.
Blew my fucking mind.
Oh, it shut you down in the room when we were there. You heard it.
Blew my mind.
Lost your mind. Anyway.
Blew my mind.
So this match was great. What did you think of the whole family of Saraya being there? Did you have any question who you thought was going to win, wanted to win? What were your thoughts coming into this?
When this match was announced, if you didn't know Saraya was going to win, man, you weren't paying attention. Saraya in England for a title in the biggest arena in one of the biggest stadiums in the fucking world. Like, there is no... And then when We Will Rock You started, if you didn't know then, you knew then. Like, how could you look at that entrance with We Will Rock You? Her entire fucking British backwoods Brady Bunch family and all of that shit walk into the ring. How do you not know that woman's going to win the title? I say that with all the respect in the world. Like, they seem cool. They seem like cool as fucking people.
Backwoods Brady Bunch, with all the respect.
British backwoods Brady Bunch, because they all look like they're tough as shit. And there's like fucking 20 of them.
To quote Will Ospreay, "Pip pip cheerio, motherfucker."
I was gonna say, like, it's literally like it'd be like having dinner with the cast of Peaky Blinders.
All right, so yeah, Saraya ends up winning. There are some great moments. Tony Storm accidentally hits Saraya's mom and about starts a barnyard scrap at the side of the ring.
That was a great.
What a great way to start sowing the seeds.
That was the Iron Man Captain America Civil War moment. That was he killed my mom. I don't give a fuck. He killed my mom. Like that was very intense for Saraya. And one thing Saraya is amazing at is the facials. the ability to show that she looks really, really fucking pissed off. I think that's definitely one of her strengths. And the fact that, like,
Absolutely.
that "you hit my mom" face was fucking priceless.
You hit my mom.
You hit my mom!
All right. Yeah, that was a great match. Saraya gets the pin on Toni Storm to end it. A very vicious one of those, what'd she call her? Nightcap. Nightcap.
Is it the nightcap now? Was it used to be the Rampage?
I would like to claim that I knew that, and I'm smart enough to know that, but I'm actually.
Is it the one that's like a cradle DDT? Like,
yeah,
the head up
she's
here,
got her legs up around her and drops.
Yeah, I think
she's
that was
Toni
the
Storm.
Rampage or the Page Turner.
Yeah, it was Paige Turner back then. Yeah. Your next match. Something you never thought you would see outside of a match with the Undertaker.
Well, hold on. That thing. The biggest thing I want to take away from the Saraya match. And I said this before the show started. I think I said this to you and everybody else in the room. This event is about creating moments.
Yep.
This event is about getting those images, etching those things in history. They don't have their WrestleMania yet. They haven't had Liberace in the ring or Cyndi Lauper or Mr. T. They don't have that shit to brag on yet. So this was their opportunity. This was, let's get all of these people involved. Let's get all of these moments. Let's get all of these amazing photos. Let's get West Side Gun and DJ Who, or was it, who was somebody with DJ Who Kid?
DJ such and such. I don't know.
Yeah. So get all of these people involved, all of this music. That's what All In was about, was creating those moments. And I think
for the first
Saraya with the title, honestly, was the moment.
You don't think she has much time left, right? Is that what I'm hearing from you? Or?
I think this is her winning the title to put it on the next person because she had to do it. She needs that moment.
Yeah.
Her career, and honestly, man, good on her and good on the company for giving it to her.
Yeah.
I'm not, if people out there are thinking, oh, Saraya, because she's famous, got whatever she wanted and got the win. No, that needed to happen. You have her signed. You're in fucking England. You're in Wembley. You put the belt on her. You put that's what you do. But no, great moment. Fucking loved it.
Yeah. Our next moment sees a match that we never thought would happen outside of The Undertaker. Another coffin match. Darby Allin and Sting versus Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage.
This was my bathroom match.
This was your bathroom match?
This was my bathroom match. This was my beer match. This was my do a shot match. I didn't care.
There was one great moment I'd like to bring up that I found to be funny. Or not funny.
The bat or the dreadlock?
Neither. Oh, that's a great moment. I found a moment to be just one of those things. What I loved that I found to be unique, one of those moments where I've never seen this before. Mm-hmm. I found it to be a fun counter. Darby put on a thumbtack jacket. He gave Sting a thumbtack jacket. And immediately, Swerve Strickland pulls the thumbtack jacket over his head like a hockey fight, like a jersey, and wraps the thumbtacks on his face and starts punching him. I went, you know what? That made this match worth it to me because that was pretty funny. That was a creative
Swerve
reversal.
Swerve is the highlight of that story, if you ask me.
Swerve is a highlight of a lot of things. I wish there was something more for Swerve, although I will say this. At first, I did not get Prince Nana. He amuses me so much now. I love this. Yes, give me that dance all the time. And then he gets the curve going. Yeah, 100%. I'm into Prince Nana. But, so Luchasaurus comes in, blah, 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 blah. Bats are used. Sting and Darby Allin win. But is it a... Mike, tell me about the controversy. Why do you think this wasn't a win?
Oh, the dreadlock.
The dreadlock.
The dreadlock. Apparently, the rules of a coffin match, as we all know, is to put the other person in the coffin and close it. It was a tag team match, but there was only one coffin.
What did Sting do earlier in the match?
Well, Sting used the bat to keep the coffin from closing.
Yes, the coffin did not get to close all the way.
And apparently that counts.
Yes, exactly. But it didn't close the way.
When Swerve got in the coffin, his dreadlocks were sticking out. And honestly, his dreadlocks were holding open about as much space as the bat.
a dreadlocks amount of space. That coffin was still open. It was not closed.
There was
That
more
match
than one
was
dreadlock.
inconclusive.
I feel like I feel like it had like
Yeah.
a good amount. Like you probably could have like stuck your finger in that crack of the coffin. But also more than that, there was only one coffin. There's two people.
There you go.
One coffin.
Yeah. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Like, what are they supposed to get in? What are they supposed to do? Get in there like butt to face?
They should have got a double wide.
A double wide coffin? No, I figure you should have made them like
The Reyes family might have a hookup.
with a double wide coffin.
Just a double wide. I don't know. Our next match.
Shit!
Our next match. Shut up. I took him a second.
It did. That was a delayed reaction.
All right, our next match. A match that at first, when I first heard it, I went, eh. And then there was a contract signing. There was a promo where you realize that one man had a contract that was up in 6 months, and one man could beat Chris Jericho, Kazuchika Okada, and Kenny Omega within 2 months. And that man has become quickly one of my favorite people over the last couple of years. Will Ospreay, Chris Jericho. What'd you think? I thought it was a great pop for Ospreay. I also love seeing the throwback of the old Ospreay, kind of like back in the days when he was fighting Ricochet, the Union Jack hanging off his shoulder. We didn't see the Green United Empire Ospreay. We saw the kid from England.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
still
this was his
with
hometown
the bitter, oi, bruv. Like, yeah, we saw that guy still.
So, this is the match where, honestly, Ospreay clicked for me.
Yeah.
Up until this point, I would say I got it, but he wasn't on a high on my list. Like, I got why people liked Will Ospreay, but I wouldn't have gone out of my way to say, yeah, I like Will Ospreay. After this match, I like Will Ospreay. This was hard-hitting, intense, and very well balanced with the back and forth.
Yeah.
The thing about that, though, is we all know who that came from. We all know who was putting in the hard work. The other guy was probably doing a lot of planning, a lot of what are we going to do, planning out what we're going to do, what move when, calling and all that stuff. I'm not denying that Chris Jericho didn't do his part, but it was
Jericho's
the Will
a
Ospreay
legend.
show.
Jericho's reinvented himself. Jericho is the man. Jericho might go down as one of the greatest. He will go down as one of the greatest of all time.
Yes.
Will Ospreay, though, can make anybody look like $1 million, and Will Ospreay makes himself look like $1 million in the process. The dude is gold. You and I had a little bit of a different opinion on something I heard the other day, and we can maybe talk about this another time because I know we want to get through this card. But you think the route for Ospreay is WWE. I don't want to see Ospreay in WWE.
I think he's the fuck away from AEW.
His female is in WWE. I know he loves his lady, Blair Davenport, if they're still together. I think they are, B. Priestley. But I don't think WWE would utilize an English star, even Will Ospreay, the way that I don't know. Unless like NXT Europe is going to be a bigger thing than they've made it out to be, and Will Ospreay is your face of NXT Europe. I just don't think WWE uses Will Ospreay properly. I'd love to see Will Ospreay and AJ Styles. I'd love to see Will Ospreay and Ilya Dragunov. I'd love to see Will Ospreay and Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
But I'd also love to see Will Ospreay and Konosuke Takeshita and Kazuchika Okada and all those things over again that we've been seeing. Like, I don't mind.
I think those are... But he's wrestled Konosuke Takeshita. He's wrestled Kazuchika Okada. That dude... And once again, this is coming from somebody, I am now an Ospreay believer. 2 months ago, a fucking week ago, fuck that guy. I don't give a fucking shit. This promo, this rivalry, this match, dude, he is above the people in AEW. He is
He's above everybody
Omega.
in wrestling.
He's
above almost anybody in wrestling.
What's the Kota Ibushi, Omega?
Okada.
He's above. I don't know about Okada except for the fact that Ospreay can do more microphone stuff.
I mean, I feel like your current world's Mount Rushmore of current wrestlers might be Ospreay, Okada,
Baron Corbin.
Danielson. Shut up, Baron
What?
Corbin.
Name me somebody who's done more and been more of a backbone in the time he's been where he's at.
In the top 4 currently wrestling, put him above Okada, Switchblade, Omega, Ospreay, or Naito.
That's a conversation for another day.
That's a conversation for another day. Awesome match. Will Ospreay wins. Oi, bruv. End of the match. Sammy Guevara gets pushed away by Chris Jericho. Jericho seemingly has no friends
Anticlimactic.
anymore. It wasn't that great of a thing.
I think it should have ended. The cameras should have went out on Ospreay winning. I don't think we need to do the Jericho dejected. Like,
right.
If this is Jericho getting ready to take a break, you can take a break without
Jericho.
getting broken down.
The story's about Ospreay. It's not about Jericho.
Yeah, and I think we didn't even if this is about Jericho like taking a break, I think you could just take a break, dude. Like, I don't need Jericho to, I don't like shitty confidence Jericho.
Yeah.
Like, love him or hate him, like doubting himself Jericho doesn't work. I don't believe that dude doubts himself. Fucking ever. There's nothing about Chris Jericho that ever says to me that ego is not cranked to 100. And I mean that as a fucking compliment.
I don't know. He has every right to be. He is so successful in so many areas.
He's the GOAT, dude.
Podcasting, music. I mean, he's successful in so many areas.
Yeah.
There's a brief moment here where Nigel McGuinness gets in the ring. By the way, Nigel McGuinness, awesome. I love Nigel McGuinness. I hope he gets to have one more. Supposedly there's rumors that he might have something going on where he's getting doctors to check him out, and he might be able to go one more time, which I would love to see. Maybe
does he have like
All In next year.
Blood-borne illness?
I don't think so. Is that what it was?
I thought Nigel McGuinness had
I thought it was neck thing. You look into that. Real quick, he got in the ring and he announced that there's 81,035 people there. So it wasn't 90,000 like some people may have misquoted or whatever, but still 81,035 fans. That's a hell of a turnout. Next match, we have another title match. Hepatitis B. Interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah, Nigel
Well,
McGuinness.
I don't know why I was
from
reading
Hep B.
that. No, I don't know why I was reading that. I'll have to look. Well,
Feel bad for
conversation for another day.
feel bad for the guy, but I don't think he's getting back in the ring.
Conversation for another day. Definitely ain't juicing. No lights out matches.
No.
House of Black versus the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. I love the House of Black's entrance. I love seeing the Fireflies. I love the little nod to Bray Wyatt. The lantern that Murphy laid down, or Buddy Matthews, excuse me. House of Black and White. It looked really awesome for the entrance. It looked awesome in the lighting. It looked awesome on Julia Hart. It looked awesome in all moments except for one that your wife happened to point out for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that it looked like Brody King was in a diaper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brody King's a huge dude. And the white and gold stripy thing deal he had on his trunks didn't look like what he thought. It just looked like a diaper.
Looked like a diaper.
Like, not even like a nice diaper. Like the diaper that you would get mad and rip off your kid and put back in the box and go and yell at somebody about. That kind of diaper.
That kind of diaper.
So, I like this match. I'm loving the House of Black more and more.
Yeah.
I love Brody King. I love me some Brody King. I think Brody King might be my favorite person in that group.
What's the name of his band?
God's Hate.
God's Hate.
Yes, they're
Christian band.
Yes, great moral band. In fact, their hit song is called God's Hate. So, love his band. Love Brody King. I think the Acclaimed need more. I think we need a heel turn. I don't think we can keep just having them be smiley, fun baby faces. I think we need to get to the point where Max Caster is his raps should make, like, a baby face should want to punch him in the face over his rap. Like, it shouldn't be something the whole crowd goes, ah, ha, ha, ha. Like, the crowd should be disgusted by what he
He
says.
should take what John Cena used to do to another level. And I can completely see what you're saying. I think we briefly talked about it the other night. If this team splits, there's no way that you don't have Caster become the greatest shit heel possible. Like, just he will be amazing as a heel. And Bowens is your perfect babyface. There's no reason that both of these guys. It's one of those things. It's like, I hate to use this as an example just to insult anybody, but the team of Heavy Machinery, Drozda,
Otis and
Tucker.
The other I think you're making your point by not being able to remember the guy's name.
If I told you they were going to split, you knew who was going to be the one. If Bowens and Caster split, I feel like they both could be the one. And I'm good with a Bowens and him split at some point. Yeah. And I think we maybe that's the way that the trios titles come to an end. Is a crazy that maybe the way that the Acclaimed end is the same way that they lose their titles. But all in all, it was interesting. The moments, there's two moments I'd like to talk about. One is during the match and one is after the match. Julia Hart got scissored.
And
by three men
before
in front of 80,000 people.
Before we get canceled and turned off and shut down, it's a move. It's a wrestling move. It's not that. Not that. You can't do that.
Oh my God! Just the audio of that was horrible.
Yeah.
Oh my God! It was bad. Hopefully, you guys will watch the video version of this and know that.
Yeah.
Nothing was wet.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Oh, God, it's not going to be.
They kind of crossed the line of, like, men hitting a woman. That was interesting. That was kind of like the undertone of everything without really pointing that out, but that's kind of where my brain went. A bunch of men beat up a woman. I don't know how that's a babyface thing, but that happened. I don't know. What do you think about that?
It was odd.
Mm-hmm.
I felt weird the amount of people that were cheering for it. Julia Hart's outfit wasn't great for it. It was odd and white. It was almost clear.
I was uncomfortable for her for a moment because that was almost like, whoa, we're about to... No, whoa.
I will say it's odd that the girl who was a... Not odd, but I think it's amazing that the girl who was a two-time national champion cheerleader is more comfortable in this evil gimmick than she was in the cheerleader gimmick they gave her.
She's killing it.
She's fantastic.
She's fucking killing it.
She's perfect as what she is. But yeah, the scissoring moment was very odd. And the other moment that I didn't expect was after the match, the Acclaimed won, and there was almost a sign of respect from the House of Black as they gave them the titles and walked out of the ring. Do you remember that? What do you think about that?
That was the title exchange. That was a good moment. As soon as they stopped, though, it was kind of obvious. Not that it wasn't a bad moment, but I think as soon as you saw Malachi grab the belt from, he grabbed it from the ref or somebody, but he grabbed the belt.
Yeah.
And for me, that was the indicator that, hey, they're going to do the handoff.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
But that doesn't mean it was bad. I think that was the right move to do.
It took all three guys to hold down Brody King. I think you still protected the House of Black to a point.
And it closes the story up.
I think they're a great thing. I don't know. I really do enjoy that. So
I think that was a
now
good
we're down.
end.
Speaking of end, good segue. We're down to the end.
Oh.
We have made it to the end finally. It actually wasn't that bad. I kind of, I'll say overall, I don't mind a good one in the afternoon pay-per-view. I could deal with more of these.
I could have probably watched another hour of this without being really mad about it.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it started in the afternoon. More wrestling should do that.
Absolutely. So yeah,
our main event,
MJF, Adam Cole. Coming into this, what are your thoughts? Were there any thoughts that had changed after you saw them on the pre-show? What are your opinions on the main event?
So, one thing I miss in wrestling that we don't get a lot of are big bombastic entrances. I love a good live song. We get that every once in a while with a band.
Oh wait, can I stop you real quick?
Yeah.
Can I cut you off real quick? We did skip over something. We're just going to go back for 1 second and then come right back to this. Mike, tell everybody how happy you were that the best part of the coffin match was that you got to hear Seek and Destroy.
Oh God! Once again, with Tony Khan.
That was the one thing. Mike was disappointed by the coffin match, but I got to tell you, we were in a kitchen. We have a fantasy football draft going on. We have great food that Mike and his wife Kelly provided. All of this focus is in this room, and then Mike just hears a few notes, and he lost his mind.
So you can win my heart over anytime in the world by playing a Metallica song. And what really, really, really rang true for me was Sting using Metallica's Seek or Destroy. Do you know when he previously used that song?
Tell me.
At the end of his WCW run.
Oh, yeah?
When he has switched back from Wolfpack Sting to the regular black and white Crow Sting, he had switched to Metallica's Seek and Destroy. There was this time period right at the end of WCW where they were paying for all the licensed music they wanted, hiring all these bands right at the end of WCW, and they got Metallica, they got Seek and Destroy for Sting. So hearing that come back around for me was fucking incredible. But yeah, that was better than the actual coffin match, was Sting coming out to Seek and Destroy.
So where were we? Tell me your thoughts on the main event. Tell me your thoughts maybe after you saw the pre-show. How were you feeling coming in?
My big thing with the main event was, as I was saying, I miss wrestling entrances. Big entrances. We get songs. We get live bands every once in a while. We'll get some costume choice. Every once in a while, Ricochet will come out dressed like an anime character. Or Seth Rollins is referencing a Marvel movie. Great.
New Day's dressed up as their favorite anime.
But we don't get the entrance. We don't get Triple H coming out with a bunch of Terminator robots. We don't get the New Day coming out of the big box of Bootios anymore.
The Bootios.
We don't get gigantic,
they're different
over-the-top entrances. So I was super happy. I was actually kind of pumped when MJF came out on a giant dais being pushed to the epic music. These women are bowing down as MJF is on this dais to his music, and you hear like, ha, ha, ha. It sounds like the fucking Omen. And he's going and he's getting pushed, and these women are on their knees, and you see, let's say this is MJF. This is MJF being pushed down the ramp.
Mike holding a glass.
This is the staircase.
So
when his shit hits the staircase,
more importantly, before that. Yeah. But before that, he's not. When you say he's being pushed, he isn't just in a epic, awesome fashion moving in this chair. No, there is one stagehand.
One dude
who looks like maybe this is the backup plan, who is holding the cart behind it, whose head is clearly visible underneath the throne, looking through the middle of his legs as he pushes him forward.
And you see this thing hit the steps, moves the entire... Because the dais pushed up to a stair unit, so MJF could walk down the stairs off the dais.
And there would be girls bowing at the bottom of those stairs.
The stairs moved, because they were hit, because the fucking idiot didn't know where he was going, and smacked into this poor fucking girl who goes 3 feet
and they quickly
slides. She's on her knees doing the bow thing. So she's not standing up ambulatory able to move with the hit. She just gets fucking whammed. And she just goes 3 feet and fucking the camera cuts immediately. What the fuck?
Right.
What the fuck?
But MJF got to wear his devil mask again. This was a good match. I won't lie. There is nothing funnier than MJF trying to shake someone's hand and then thumbing them in the eye. It is one of my favorite things. He gives a great thumb to the eye.
I was going to say, the fact that the thumb to the eye is a thing for him, I love it. Adam Cole used it as well.
Great. It was great.
So, good match. Good back and forth. Personally, the ending let me down. I don't want to go move by move, spot by spot.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I think go back and watch the match. The match itself, I think, was good. But the ending really let me down. Nothing happened.
There was a double pin. Cole asks for the 5 more minutes. MJF refuses and says they will continue until there's a winner. Like, again, a good... Because this is kind of like, you think, okay, cool, they're going to go. Both men get knocked out. You get a little bit of Roderick Strong coming down. Like, in my opinion, like, I thought the Kingdom was going to interfere. I don't know how you feel about that.
I thought Roderick Strong and the Kingdom were all going to join with Adam Cole, and that was going to be the turn to take the belt off of MJF. My thought is this is where MJF gets screwed over. I thought this is where babyface MJF realizes fuck the world. This is where I thought he was going to be like, well, fuck, I got screwed out of my title. Now I'm going to be an even bigger prick. Now I'm going to be an even bigger asshole. That's where I thought they were going.
Adam Cole was going to use the title. Instead, he throws it down, tells Roddy to go away. As he tells him to go away, MJF rolls him up. Adam Cole gets pinned.
When did Roderick Strong become a Looney Tunes character?
He came in with such fanfare, and people were excited. We're going to get Ring of Honor Roddy again. Now he's a douche in a neck brace.
He's doing bits Jim Cornette did back in the 90s worse than Cornette.
Yeah.
Like, what the... Like, what? You're not even, like, doing, like, a competent, like, bumbling dude. Like, he didn't like, kick a truck and he was in a wheelchair?
Oh, he was
the
grumpy.
Next scene?
Yeah. Taven and Bennett look more stable than him right now. They're consoling Roddy, and they're going to be the sane ones in this relationship.
They need to do something with those guys.
Cole, absolutely they do. Absolutely they do. Long overdue. Yeah. Cole's inconsolable, throws the Ring of Honor title aside. Then all of a sudden, apparently within 5 minutes, they make up and they're hugging.
I felt like the crying was a little over the top.
Yeah, it is a little. And MJF's acting of, no, we're okay, buddy. We're okay. He kept acting like a 12-year-old kid. It's okay, buddy. We got these. You remember the Looney Tunes character with the little dog and the big dog? He's like, come on, buddy. Come on, Frank. My big guy, Frank. Like, that's kind of what MJF reminded me of. Like, hey, we're okay, buddy. We got these titles. We're going to be fine.
Spike and...
Spike. Yeah, hey, Spike, come on.
Yeah, Spike, and I can't remember the little one's name.
Right, yeah. But, so yeah, that's how the show ended. Overall, I mean, I wasn't mad about it. I mean, the ending was very anticlimactic. Overall, I thought the show was awesome. The ending was almost just... I mean, the first 3 matches were bam, 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 and then... Yeah, so...
I feel like after the Bucks FTR match, we started to see the slowdown of the night.
Was it too much?
I don't think it was too many matches.
Yeah.
I think it was too many ideas.
Gotcha.
I don't think you needed a Stadium Stampede match, a coffin match, a 2 3-on-3s, a 4-way women's...
You could have had one more women's match in there for the
tag team
TBS.
rubber match.
Let Ruby and Chris Statlander go. Have another women's match. Have a women's tag match. Have a battle royal. I don't care.
Was there a stipulation on Punk's match?
No, there was no stipulation.
Okay. So I feel like we could have done less stuff without doing less matches. I think you could have had, like, this could have been, maybe instead of 3-on-3, the House of Black did Billy Gunn versus Malachi Black, and both groups have the tag teams behind them.
Right.
And that way you've got a 1-on-1 match, and then maybe everybody gets interfered. Maybe instead of, like, 4 women, you do an eliminator match. Maybe you have 2 people wrestling to get in, and it's only a 3-way women's match. And then the first women's match of the night is, like, Ruby versus Willow, Nightingale, or something like
Absolutely,
that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you could have done the same amount of matches, but with less confusion.
Yeah,
but
100%.
Then you'd got Stadium Stampede kind of staring at you in the middle of the whole night.
Yeah, I feel like that was a good break for the audience, though, at least, if anything. Maybe that's the moment you get up, you realize you're not able to see much, go get your chips, go get your chippies.
I feel like, unfortunately, because MJF, I wonder, would that match have landed better for me if it was a last match? And you couldn't have put it over MJF and Adam Cole. Yeah. Like, I think I might have taken that match better if that was the way you blew out everything out and destroyed everything. Like, if that's how you ended the night, then maybe we've got a big, bloody, gory mess at the end, and I'm like, yeah!
Maybe so, but let me remind you, in your mind right now, do you end All In Wembley Stadium, 81,035 people, the largest paid attendance in all of wrestling, with an orange punch on Claudio Castagnoli from Orange Cassidy?
Well, you would have had to change the finish. You would have had to change the ending. You couldn't have.
And I'm not saying
you
anything
couldn't have
inside
closed
there.
the
Claudio
night
is one of
out.
my favorite fucking people. Blackpool Combat Club's amazing. Orange is doing good with what he's doing. Although it's time for Pac to have that fucking title, and it's a shame that Pac's hurt again. That's another person who should have been on this show.
And it was 5-on-5 instead of 6-on-6, right?
Yeah, Phoenix had some transport issues, so they kind of got Phoenix out of there and whatnot, and yeah, so.
But I think we could have done less. What I'd say, I was happy with most of it.
And they also announced that they will come back next year, August 24th, I believe.
I mean, when you sold that many tickets, it's a guarantee. They sold the tickets. That's the thing. At the end of the day,
the money they made
think
tonight
about the match
pays
doesn't
for the show
matter
next year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All in all, I think All In 2023 was a success. As somebody who was at the original All In 2018, I still think that one was better. I'll always hold that show up as the greatest wrestling show I've ever seen live. I'll hold it up as one of the greatest wrestling shows I've ever seen. And that's not just because I was there. It was a great fucking show. So All In was great. I'm interested to see, and I'm not going to be able to watch it live, but what happens at All Out. I think that's going to be interesting. We've got a suspended CM Punk, a suspended Jack Perry. What's going to happen? Are they going to wrestle? Are they going to be on the show? Are we going to have All Out in Chicago without CM Punk?
Gonna be interesting.
Did the Dork Squad do it? Did the Dork Squad get CM Punk out of AEW? But those will all be questions for next week, next episode. We got a lot done this week.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
We got it covered. We got it knocked out. It's been fun.
This has been
Time
great.
kind of flew, but man, we've been here a minute, haven't we?
100%. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow wherever you get your podcasts. Whether it's from gettingwork.com, the website address right here above our heads. Whether you're going to Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or youtube.com/@gettingworked. Once again, I'm Mike.
I'm Brendon.
See you guys.
Cheers, buddy. Have a good night.
This is real glass!